For the first time in 7 years, the Four Continents Championships is back here in the United States, inside this building, the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. There's a live look inside the ice right now, getting ready tonight for the men's short program. 25 skaters from Asia and from North America are getting ready to take the ice tonight. Hey everyone, Nick McCarville here on the Bridgestone Ice Desk. Really excited for the afternoon of skating we had. The ladies' short program was incredible, and we expect the boys to bring much of the same. We're here to preview the action. If you want to, please get in touch with us. You can use that comment button right below my face on Facebook and on YouTube. We stream here before and after each event. Myself, I'm joined by a crew of experts, of analysts, Brooke Castile, Michael Weiss, and Shanae Kerr, and you guys were excited tonight for the men's short program. Mike, I've got to start with you, and we were talking a little bit as we got ready to bring this ice desk to all of you this evening. Shoma Uno is really the star, the guy that we expect to win this weekend, Mike, because we don't have Nathan Chen and we don't have Yuzuru Hanyu.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely the class of the field right now. He's coming off winning the Japanese National Championships, had a very strong competitive season, the Grand Prix circuit, and now he's the overwhelming favorite. And, you know, we talked a little bit about different objectives and goals for this, and he really kind of has not a whole lot to gain by winning this, but could also drop back if he doesn't skate well at this. So he's really just looking forward to go out, skate, and win this competition. He's going to get some challenges from people like Jason Brown and Boyang Jin, and he's going to have some competitors, but this is his to lose.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of names, and we'll talk about them this evening, but Shanae, you won 7 ice dance titles for Great Britain when you were skating with your partner, with your brother. When you are that favorite, when you're the sort of standalone as Shoma is this weekend, what sort of situation is that to be in?
I mean, it brings with it its own sets of pressures, for sure. There's a whole different mentality behind it. And I think we were speaking about this earlier, Mike, about the fact that he's coming into this with almost a little bit more to lose than he has to gain with this competition, because he's expected to win it. Right. And it's going to be, you know, almost a disappointment to come anything else. So it is very difficult to come in with that mindset. But also winning something like this and bringing away with it the confidence coming into World Championships is going to be a big thing for him too. So he will be looking to set down a marker at this competition.
We were talking about this, Brooke, with the ladies obviously coming off of the U.S. Championships for Jason Brown, for Vincent Zhou, and also for Tomoki Hiwatashi, who's here. The sort of momentum that they started in Detroit, they get to carry that over here into Anaheim.
Yeah, and they have the home field advantage. They're at home, and that is a huge perk. Especially, you just said it's been 7 years since Four Continents has been in the U.S., so we saw with the ladies, that was a huge advantage for them. And I think it will be for the men as well. And I think coming off of nationals only 10 days ago, you just keep in your training. You're tired physically, but mentally you just keep going. And I think you just follow through with what you did there. They had a great week at nationals, so they'll just follow through with that.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, after you have a big event like the U.S. National Championships for the Americans, you have, I used to call it PCL. You used to have post-competition letdown. And a lot of times there's so much excitement, so much adrenaline built up for this one competition, there almost has to be a regression a little bit. And now, 10 days later, you got to build it right back up again. So sometimes that could be a challenge.
But I mean, as anyone who's going to be a top national athlete, figure skater, they know that Four Continents is right after nationals. We're used to it. So I think that they are prepared for that quick turnaround anyway.
Well, one of those skaters that's going to be prepared for a big weekend here in Anaheim is Jason Brown, our own Michael Weiss. He caught up with him just yesterday. Here's Jason.
I'm here with Jason Brown, fresh off his bronze medal performance at the U.S. National Championships. And also, you won the bronze medal at the Four Continents last year as well. So what type of goals do you have for this week at the competition?
You know, I really want to take what I learned from the U.S. Championships, and it being so, it's just a week later, really. And I want to come in and continue to kind of grow on what I learned there, but also coming in last season, coming out of this event with the medal, I'm definitely hungry for another one.
Yeah, and you know, you have a full season now under your belt with Brian Orser training in Toronto. What's that like?
The more time that I have, the more comfortable and the more that I understand of the way they train, the way that we compete. I had a rocky start to the season, but that was something that was part of all the newness, and they said, like, they were very patient, and they were like, it's gonna take time. So, but it's cool to kind of start feeling like I'm like reaping the rewards as the season's going on, and getting more comfortable?
Well, I think we saw that at the national championships. You had this exuberance back in your skating again, a fantastic short program. Also started landing some really nice quad sals in practice as well. Will we see that here?
You know what? I hope so. That is something that I'm working towards. I have gotten more and more confident as the season goes on, so I'm so glad that you saw that change at the U.S. Championships and you saw the growth, but that's definitely a goal.
Jason Brown has answered a lot of those quad questions. We're going to see it this weekend. We don't expect to see a quad from him tonight. We do expect to see that quad sal in the free skate. Mike, that was an interesting conversation with Jason because there's been a lot of changes, and it was actually last year here at Four Continents, as you said, he got that bronze medal. That sort of started to build the confidence. He makes the big change to Toronto, and we've just seen slowly, step by step, he seems a more mature skater.
Well, yeah, and now he's been, training along with Brian Orser, and he's training along, Yuzuru Hanyu and Javier Fernandez, all these guys that do quads pretty regularly and consistently, and that's the one thing that is always lacking in Jason's skating is we never question his ability to perform, his component marks, his spins, his technique. Everything else is unparalleled. I mean, in this competition, you will see he will likely get standing ovations for both programs because his programs are so enjoyable. The one area that he's lacked a little bit is the quad. If he adds that to his program in the free skate, he's now on another level, and he's competitive in the technical mark as well.
And just the beauty of his skating and, the artistry that he's built up, Shanae, and the way that now the scoring is different. Obviously, you can get a +5 GOE on a lot of the way that you execute elements, and so that'll be very interesting to see for Jason tonight.
Oh, I appreciate his skating so much, and also the difficulty that goes behind those programs is just amazing. I mean, it's not just beautiful to watch, it's technically very difficult, the transitions that he's doing. So for him, it's not just about the jumps, and I mean, don't forget his spins are outstanding too.
Incredible.
He just has a whole package. As Mike says, if he can pull off the quad, he's going to be a real contender for the next Olympic cycle, for sure.
Yeah, so Jason Brown tonight inside. It's a really great men's short program. You've got the likes of Jason Brown and Shoma Uno going back to back in that last group. You also have Vincent Joe, Keegan Messing, and Jin Boyang, who is the defending champ. But right now, let's go ahead and meet the 25 guys who are skating here at Four Championships. We're just holding for all of you on Facebook and YouTube. We're just waiting a second. Oh, well, good evening, everyone, here at the Honda Center, and welcome inside the Bridgestone Ice Desk. If you want to hang out with us, we're just outside section 208. We're going to be right here after the men's short program tonight. We've got a great night of skating. Thank you to Rusty Kath for throwing over to me. For those of you watching online, we're getting joined now in the venue. So that was our little transition there. And thank you, Shanae Kerr. That was good choreography from you.
I thought you looked a little awkward by yourself.
Froze.
You needed a little bit of an arm movement.
A full smile at
My
camera.
inner ice dancer
I know
coming
nothing
out.
else. Okay, so tonight we've been talking about it already on the web, but for those of you in venue, it's a big night for the men's short program. And Michael Weiss, it starts with Shoma Uno. He's the Olympic silver medalist. He's the guy that everyone's expecting to win, but also he hasn't necessarily had a standout season by Shoma standards.
Yeah, and he's had ankle issues throughout the season, and even multiple sprains with his ankles, and just competing at the Japanese National Championships, back in December, still had to push through pain, and he's an absolute warrior. That guy pushes through any and everything. And so to be here at this event, he's not doing some of the difficult quads that he does. It's not going to be as packed, but he's certainly the favorite for this event. And if he goes out and skates clean programs, then he should be able to skate away with this title.
Two of the guys that will be chasing Shoma Uno are Vincent Zhou and Jason Brown. We've been talking on the web about Jason Brown, and I always like the phrase point monster. He doesn't have that quad, at least in the short program. You won't see that tonight from Jason. But Shanae, what you will see is artistry. He skates so beautifully, and he eats up points everywhere he goes. Why and how?
He is just the most beautiful skater out there, and it's not just, I was saying to you, it's not just about how beautiful a skater he is, it's the difficulty of his transitions. So into and out of the jumps and the step sequences, and everything is just choreographed to the music so well. So those component marks and also the plus and minus fives, the grade of execution marks, have to be sky high. So even without the quad, he is still a contender. With the quad, he's going to be even more of a contender. So I'm really excited to see how he does here at Four Continents.
Yeah, and at the U.S. National Championships, we saw that liveliness again in his short program, that exuberance that he's known for, and it was a fantastic skate there. And he's been starting to land the quads pretty successfully in practice, so whether he hits that in the free skate here will be the real question.
Okay, Brooke, Vincent Zhou, he broke out last season. He had a lot of success internationally, went to the Olympics, went to Worlds, had a great short program at Worlds, struggled in the free skate. He's someone that's really been trying to work on some of the under-rotation calls. That rule has gotten tighter this year, but we've seen he's a committed young athlete, and he and Tom Zagrajcek, his whole team in Colorado Springs, they're working hard.
Yeah, I have to give Vincent so the props for him. Like, he's had such a hard time internationally getting these calls. That's been the name of the game for him. Is he going to get his rotations called? And he doesn't let it phase him. He comes back every competition strong, does clean programs, and then leaves it up to the caller. And I think that is just really admirable that he is able to mentally be that strong.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting because if he doesn't get those under rotations, his marks are right up there with the best in the world as far as technicality. And so when he gets hit by those, you're starting to lose 5 points, 10 points, 15 points, and those things really start to make a difference. But if those calls are fully rotated, he's one of the best skaters in the world technically.
There's a lot of great skaters to watch for you inside tonight here at the Honda Center, including Jin Boyoung as the defending champion. Junhwa Cha is a 17-year-old from Korea. Keegan Messing and Nam Nguyen, they're both coming off of strong seasons, Shanae. But for Jin Boyoung, almost gets a medal at the Olympics, but then he struggles with his confidence since then.
Yeah, and he's never really been the same since. He's not had a great season coming into it, but at the same time, he's also the defending champion at Four Continents, so that's nothing to sniff at either. So for him, it's going to be a case of can he regain some of that magic from last year and try to forget what's happened this season so far.
Okay, Michael Weiss, give us one thing to watch tonight for the men's short program. What do we need to watch?
Shoma Uno's quad toe that he has planned is pretty awesome. If he hits that, I think he's off to a good start, and I think he positions himself well for the free skate if he hits that quad toe.
Yeah, so we'll see. He's got a lot of quad firepower, Shoma Uno does. But the men's short program, that is what we have tonight here. We're just getting things ready on Bridgestone Ice Desk for all of you inside the Honda Center. Here's what's happening. Join us after the men's short program. We're going to be right here outside section 208. The Ice Desk will be live. We're going to wrap up everything. You're going to get the opinion of Michael Weiss and our other panelists here, and we've got a surprise guest afterwards as well. But for now, I had to hold for you, Rusty Kath, so not awkwardly, I'm going to seamlessly throw back to you, back in the arena to Rusty Kath. Okay, I love digital web stream, and I just like sitting here smiling at you guys. Are we ready? Yes, we're ready. We're good. I still really appreciate that hand. What was it? Was it a jazz hand?
It was a jazz hand.
Was
Yeah,
a jazz
I put it
Leave
in
it to the ice dancer, right?
Every program and choreographed that movement was it.
So
we
it
do
makes
that
sense.
all like together? 1, 2, 3, and go.
But it makes sense. We were having technical issues, so she stepped up on the artistic side.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
Yeah.
They're both being judged.
Just like Jason Brown. There you
All
go.
about the performance.
You know what? It really was a time to say the Shoma must go on. Oh, I'm sorry.
You stole my line.
You didn't use it earlier, so I had to use
We had to fling it in there.
Show me what you're going to do.
Shoma, what is Shoma going to do tonight? Because we mentioned a little bit the expectation, the ankle, 4 continents. I mean, this is a guy who should be expecting to win a world medal tonight, but we find him in Anaheim this weekend.
I'm just surprised that he's here. I don't really know exactly what there is to gain and so much to lose. If I were dealing with an injury like that, having known that I went through it at my national championships, at the Japanese national championships, having gone through it all season, it would make more sense for me to just focus on getting healthy, because the world championships are really where it's at. I mean, yes, this is a great competition. He wants to come here and win a medal, but he also needs to be prepared and be in his best shape at the world championships in Japan.
Yeah, he certainly does. I mean, that's just a few weeks away. So, and he's one of those guys you'd expect with Nathan, with Yuzu, obviously with Javier Fernandez retiring at European Championships. I mentioned Europeans, Brooke. This is, we were talking about it before, this is a competition, it feels like equivalent to Europeans right now, where this is a stacked field. I mean, you look at Shoma, you look at Jason Vincent, Jin Boyang. We haven't talked too much about Junwon Cha, but this is a lot of, I wrote down 11 names to watch this weekend. There's a lot of talent here.
Yeah, there is. And I mean, this competition was created because of European championships. We didn't have that in North America or Asia, so that's why they created this competition, to give the skaters here another chance to compete against each other before Worlds. And it's a great event. And, you know, Keegan Messing had a great season this year, kind of a breakout for him. And he's, you know, I think his vertical leap is like up
so
here,
high.
taller than Mike's head. I mean, I'm excited to see how he looks.
Not saying much.
But yeah, he's someone to look for tonight. You know, we haven't mentioned him yet. He has his own look. He's certainly different than everyone else, and great quads.
He made it to the Grand Prix final.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
that's
did.
nothing to sneeze at. He had a great season there. And then I think you also got to take a look, Nam Nguyen, who we haven't mentioned either. I mean, he won the Canadian National Championships as well, and he's somebody who could slip in there. He's definitely a medal favorite, not medal favorite, medal contender.
Sure.
We talked a lot
absolutely.
about him at Skate America. He was our pick. Remember, we all put him on our predictions list, and he ended up not doing what we thought. And then finally at Canadians, he kind of
For a couple
got
of
back
years
to where he
now,
wanted
he's
to be.
been talked about as, you know, the next up-and-coming thing, like almost like a Nathan Chen type style, but it never seemed to quite materialize yet. So it's almost like we're all waiting on that time for it to come through.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity for him to try to make a good international splash.
Yeah, certainly. And then you've got Kazuki Tomono and Keiji Tanaka, who are both really strong skaters for the Japanese team, including Tomono, who was 5th at Worlds last year. I mean, really had a breakout event. And so, you know, from top to bottom, you look at Shoma Uno is that leading guy, but this is a deep field.
Yeah, it is. And that just makes it makes your room for error very small. I mean, if somebody doesn't skate well, there's going to be somebody like Nam Nguyen. There's going to be somebody who's on the outside, Keegan Messing, kind of looking in, and they're going to take
Or
advantage of it.
someone
And all
like
of a
Jason
sudden,
Brown, who doesn't have difficult technical content compared to them planned. Well, when those guys a lot of these guys are inconsistent, so when they mess up maybe one jump in the short, that's where he ends up, you know, 3rd, 2nd place.
yeah, I expect Jason to medal here.
Yeah.
Well, as
I-
well
I
as
do. I
very
Shoma
much
watering
expect
down
that.
his programs as well a little bit because of
Especially-
the injury, it
yeah,
gives even
yeah.
more of a chance.
And
Yeah,
we've talked over the years, too, about how, yes, Shoma's very hot and cold. He could be amazing and kill everybody, but then things can go south fast. And if you're dealing with injury and you're a little bit thinking about yourself, second doubting yourself, all of a sudden 1 fall turns into 3, turns into 4, and Jason Brown's the champion. I mean, I could easily see that happening as well.
Can we talk a little bit about Junwon Cha? He's 17 years old, and he got 2 third places in his Grand Prix. That meant he barely qualified for the Grand Prix final. Then he goes to Vancouver and wins the bronze medal at Chenet. He's got a beautiful style of skating. He's been working with Brian Orser. He's in that camp now in Toronto that continues to reload. There's so much talent there. And he at 17 is someone in Korea. There's a lot of expectation. He was a child model. There's a lot of attention around him.
And
to
this
build that expectation.
kind of at the beginning of a new Olympic cycle, this is a competition that he can really make his mark. I mean, he did come 3rd at Grand Prix final, so already he's in that kind of mix. But I think that he's going to be pushing his name forward to be a contender at Olympic Games alongside Nathan Chen and whoever else. But yeah, I think this could be a good competition for him. And obviously coming in off a strong season, so he's a new name to watch out for.
And I'm told he wears gloves, and we're going to have a special guest talking about those gloves after the short program tonight. Brooke, one big thing. Michael calls out the quad toe. What are you excited about? We've got Jason, we've got Vincent. We didn't really mention Tomoki Hiwatashi comes off of a 4th place at Nationals. He's here because Nathan Chen opted not to come to this event, but he's got some great skating himself.
Yeah, well, are you asking me what I'm excited about for this
Sure.
event or about him?
Yes.
Either or. Yes.
You know what I'm excited about this event, I'm just going to go with that, is
By all
that
means.
look at how many guys we just talked about. We have no idea. We can't make a prediction really of what the top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are going to be, and I think that's really cool that that's a discussion that we're having.
I think the second biggest thing to look out tonight is going to be the under rotations of Vincent Zhou,
Yeah.
because if he doesn't get unders on those, he could very easily win the short
Well,
program.
Shoma's watering down his program.
That was my
right?
next point. No, you're right. Remember, Shoma has his combination is a planned triple sow, triple toe.
Yeah.
That was not a misprint.
That's like
We all
juvenile
thought that was a
ladies.
misprint.
He
Yeah.
does a quad toe, and
He
then he
is
has a
planning
planned
that.
triple
Yes.
sow, triple toe. And so if Vincent goes out there and gets no unders,
It's very beatable.
he could very much win this short program.
You've heard it here first. We could see Vincent Zhou winning this short program.
It's
That's a
all
prediction.
up to that, like, that quarter.
It all ends up
Rotation.
on where it looks on the
And
camera angle that guy happens
it's
to look
all up
at
to
one.
the technical specialist to see what they give him tonight. It's interesting because at U.S. Championships, he got calls in the short.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
Skate America, 0 calls, so in the short program, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, well, the skaters are just taking the ice inside Honda Center. The first group, there's 5 groups tonight. Obviously, those last couple of groups, this is a live look in at the men's short program coming up. You guys, please join us here after. We will have a lot of fun. I think we'll have a jazz hand or two after
Absolutely.
the men's short program. It's the Bridgestone Ice Desk. Thanks to all of you for watching. We want your comments after this for the men's short program. Shanae, should we do a jazz hand out? Is that okay? Good. Oh, we're all doing jazz hands
Ready,
out.
Mike? Come on, you have to do it.
Choreographed.
One,
You can't just
go left.
spontaneously
Wait.
do this.
Go left and
One.
3, 2, 1.
We'll see you guys after the short program.